Section 3.3, factor theorem. The factor theorem states if you're taking the value of x0 here and you're plugging it into an equation, if you end up with 0, that means that value is a factor. If you end up with anything other than 0, then it is not a factor. So in this case, x minus 1 equals 0. I added 1, x equals 1. So what we're putting in is x equals 1. So if I take 1 and I put it into my equation, I have 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared minus 1 plus 3. 1 cubed is 1. 1 squared is 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. Minus 1 plus 3. 1 and minus 1 give you a 0. Minus 3 and plus 3 give you 0. So you end up with 0. So this one would be a factor. Let's try x plus 1. So what we would be putting in it is the opposite. So we'll be putting a negative 1 in to our equation. Okay, so if we're putting a negative 1 in, negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. Negative 1 times a negative is positive 1 plus 3. These will cancel off because minus 3 plus 3 is 0. And negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So this one is 0. So that one is also a factor. Okay. Let's try for this one. We would be putting minus 3 into the equation. So I'll minus 3 cubed minus 3 minus 3 squared. Where's this one? Minus 3 plus 3. So minus 3 cubed is minus 27. Minus 3 squared is 9 times minus 3 is minus 27. Minus 3 plus 3. Those will cancel because they equal 0. And minus 27 minus 27 gives us, hold on, mistake here. We should have had a minus with a minus 3 plus 3 according to our equation. So then, I write 1 minus 27 minus 27, and then I have plus 6, whoops, right? Again. I have a minus and a minus like that, a plus 3 and another plus 3. Then that gives me plus 6. So I actually have minus 27 minus 27 plus 6, which is negative 48. So this one is not, this value here is not a factor of this equation. Okay? Okay, looking at this equation, example 2, page 129, it says factor this polynomial fully. Okay, so it didn't really give us a value to see if it was a factor or not. So this is where you need to figure out what could be possible factors. And what you do is you look at the last value here, and you're looking for things that could be a factor of 3. So the only thing that multiplies to 3 is 3 and 1. So we could try positive or negative 1 or positive or negative 3. So let's just say we tried x minus 1. So we're actually going to be subbing 1 into the equation. Okay, so say we're trying to see if this is a factor, just based on trial and error with these factors. So if I put 1 into the equation, I get 1 times 1 is 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1 times 1 is 5 is minus 5. Minus 4 plus 3. So if I have 2 minus 5, I have minus 3. Minus 3 minus 4 is minus 7 plus 3 is not going to give us to 0. Okay, so this one is not going to be a factor. Okay, try a different one. Okay, so this guy did not work, he would not get us to 0. So let's just try the next easiest one. What if we try x plus 1? So that means we put minus 1 into the equation for every x we have. Okay, so minus 1 cubed is a minus 1 times 2 is a minus 2. Minus 1 squared is a positive 1 times by minus 5 is minus 5. We get minus 4 plus 3. Sorry, this guy seems to be a negative 1, so that would make him a positive 4. Because a minus 4 times a minus 1 is a positive 4. So minus 2 minus 5 is minus 7 plus 4 is minus 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. So this guy is a factor. Okay, so we should be able to use him in synthetic division to find the remaining factors. Okay, so how we're going to set this up is we take our value, which is minus 1, and we put it into synthetic division. So we take the numbers in front of all the x's, all the numbers in front of the equation, no x's are going to go into this, and we sub them in. So we put 2 minus 5, minus 4, and 3. Okay, so what we do is bring down the 2. We're going to multiply this and then add going down. So we multiply across, minus 1 times 2 is minus 2. Then we're going to add down. So we end up with minus 7. And we go minus 1 times minus 7 is a positive 8. Oh, sorry, positive 7. And then we add going down, so we end up with 3. And then minus 1 times 3 is a minus 3. And you add going down, so you end up with 0. So our factor was x plus 1. And now we write this as no x, an x, and an x squared. Okay, so this new equation will be 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. Okay, and then we can see if we can do decomp with this part. So anything that multiplies to 2 and 3, so multiples of 6 that are going to add to minus 7. So multiples of 6 that are going to add to minus 7 are minus 6 and minus 1. So all I do is replace my minus 7 with those numbers I just said. So minus 1x minus 6x plus 3. So all we did was we put those instead of our minus 7, and then we're going to factor the first group, factor the second group. So what can come out of here? We can only divide by a 1. So a 1x, sorry. So we'll have an x on the outside, and we'll have a 2x minus 1 on the inside. And on here, I can divide by a minus 3, a minus 3. So the minus 3 goes on the outside, and I'm left with a 2x minus 1 on the inside. So now we write our front pieces as a bracket, and then we write the repeating bracket as one bracket. So we have broken this down to this factor, the first one we found, and we did decomp along with synthetic division.